Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fun Friday Ideas with me, Susan, your speech language pathologist. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to make puppets like my friend here. Hello! Puppets are a great way to work on role playing and just engaging your child. And the best thing about these sock puppets here, like me, is you can make them at home with things that you have right now. We're all kind of stuck with where we can go and what we can do right now. So it's important that we make use of what we already have. So here we go, making sock puppets, yeah! Now you'll notice I added little finger holes on mine, but you don't have to do that. That does make him a little tricky. Tricky. And also you'll notice he has an opening in his mouth. And what's fun about all these things is that means he can, yummy. Oh, get in my belly. I need some help. Can you get into my belly? There we go. All right, and I made sure to put a hole in there so that way it can actually go in his belly, which is a fun way to work on feeding. Let's go ahead and let's get started so you can get playing with some fun puppets. All right, so here's what we need for today. We need some thread, we need scissors, we need buttons, needle, and of course a sock. I like using the long socks so that way they go all the way down your arm. So first things first, we're going to cut the toe off. Try not to cut off too much because we want to be able to tuck part of the foot of the sock inward to form the mouth. Let's go ahead and chop that on off. There we go. That's about how much I took off. It was just that little top part. So there we go. Go ahead and try that on for size. Make sure we're liking it. Tuck it on in there like I said for the mouth. Yep, all right, looking good, looking good. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we gotta sew those eyes on there. I like using 2 buttons for the eyes because it gives a really nice effect. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get our string. Feel free to use larger string if you would like. I am just working with what I got these days, as I'm sure many of us are. All right, and thread that needle. All right, I'm gonna start with the black one. I'm actually gonna do the black one upside down because I like the smooth surface better. So we'll go ahead, find a good spot for the eyeball. Make sure you go ahead and tie that off in there as well. All right, continue stitching away. Great skill to have, learn how to sew a button. And here we are teaching that skill in a fun way. Once I get a couple of rounds in there to secure the black one, I like to go ahead and add the green one or the other one in there. So there we go. Got that one going now. So loop that through both holes. There we go. Now let's go ahead and mark where we need to put the other eyeball. Alright, so we want the other eyeball to be similar. So we're going to go ahead and kind of mark where that is, make it sure it's a little symmetrical. At least symmetrical enough. But again, any asymmetries, any differences, that's all part of the fun because we're not all the same, right? Our puppets don't have to be perfect either. Go ahead and tie that off as well. Now, I'll go ahead and try him on for size real quick. See how he's looking and feeling. Hello there. How are you today? I like him so far. I kind of want to get tricky and add some fingers. What do you say we give that a try? All right, so we're going to turn him inside out. First things first, let's stitch up the sides of his mouth a little bit. Get him a little bit better over there. Because when we add his fingers, my 2 fingers are going to have to go in there. So I'm only going to have these 3 fingers to manipulate his mouth. So we're going to want to make sure that that is also. So I'm going to go ahead with my sewing machine actually, and I'm going to stitch up this part right here. All right, so now his mouth is all stitched shut. So we can go ahead and start working on those fingers. Now when I put it on, my fingers were about right in this area right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 little holes right there. I'm just going to cut them right in the same spot. 2 little holes. And now, remember our toe over here? Let's go ahead and cut that baby right in half. Beautiful. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip it inside out, because this is what we're going to use for our finger part. All right, now with this one again, I'm going to go ahead and sew it up on the sides, leave a little hole at the bottom on the sewing machine. All right, so now we have our little hands. Go ahead and turn them inside out. Or right side out, excuse me. Turn them right side out. Cut off any trim areas and make sure they fit. Good. All right, so now what we're going to do, go ahead, right side, tuck it on in there, find that hole, there we go. All right, get your needle and your thread again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to sew that part on. That's going to take a second, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it. All right, so now we have that hole stitched all around, that hole stitched all around. Don't worry about it being pretty, because it's going to be the inside of the puppet anyway. So now we can go on and turn it the right way and get your fingers on in those little finger holes. Now again, this is a little tricky having those finger holes there. So again, this might be something that it would be for your puppet, but not necessarily for the kid's puppet. The kid's puppet might be better without the finger hole parts. But fingers make it fun for grabbing things and picking things up. And there we go. Hello. There I am. I am a puppet. Ta-da! And we have our sock puppet made with things that I just found laying around my house that you probably have too. All right, guys. Check it out. Now you can dress him up by adding some yarn to his head for some hair. You could add some clothes to him. All sorts of fun stuff you can do. All right, guys. See you later. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed making your sock puppets. Can I take a bow now? Sure, you can take a bow now. Let me know in the comments below what kind of sock puppets you guys made today, and maybe show me some of your puppet theaters. I'd love to see them. All right, guys, until then, take care. Bye-bye.